Is Ankita, and today we are going to learn business rule on workforce child support withholding. Let us first understand what workforce child support withholding amount is. Child support withholding is a deduction of a payment for child support from a non-custodial parent's income after separation. This order can be from a court or administratively ordered by a child support agency. Now we will understand how it is being calculated. So to calculate the withholding amount, first of all, we will be calculating disposable income, which is equal to gross pay minus mandatory deduction. So the gross pay will be equal to the basic pay, the perquisites, allowances, etc. Then comes the mandatory deduction. So mandatory deduction may include federal, state and local taxes, unemployment insurance and other deductions determined by state law. The law of the state where the employee works determine which deductions are mandatory. So we can say that the disposable income may or may not be similar as net pay. Then the second thing we require to calculate here is allowable disposable income, which is equal to disposable income into CCPA percent limit. So what CCPA percent limit is? Let us understand this. Here we have withholding limit which is set by the federal CCPA as follows, which is 50%, 55%, 60% and 65%. So all these percents, all this CCPA is attached with some conditions. So the CCPA limit for non-custodial parent is 50% when he or she supports a second family with no arrearage or less than 12 weeks in arrear. Then in second condition, CCPA limit for non-custodial parent is 55% when he or she supports a second family and more than 12 weeks in arrears. CCPA limit for non-custodial parent is 60% when he or she is single with no arrearage or less than 12 weeks in arrearage, and 65% is when he or she is single and more than 12 weeks are in arrears. So to decide how much to withhold, we will require allowable disposable income and the ordered amount. If the allowable disposable income is higher than or equal to ordered amount, then in that situation, the withholding amount will be equal to ordered amount. If the allowable disposable income is less than ordered amount, then it is a special condition in which the allowable disposable income will be subtracted from ordered amount, and the balance amount, the allowable disposable income will be the child support withholding amount, and the balance amount will be categorized as arrears. Now we will understand the withholding of child support with the help of an example. In this condition, in here we see that the weekly gross pay is 760 and weekly child support due is 295. So the mandatory deduction is $151. Here, employee is single and do not owe back child support. So in that condition, disposable income will be equal to gross pay minus mandatory deduction, which will be equal to $609. Then allowable disposable income will be equal to disposable income into CCPF percent limit, which is $365.40. Here we see that the ordered value is $295. So the child support withheld by the employer will be $295, as the ordered value itself is lower than the allowable disposable income. Now we will move to the requirement sheet where we will understand its calculation. So here we have employee basic pay and its merit, which is equal to the gross pay. So basic pay is 50,000 and merit rate is 5,000. So the gross pay will be 55,000. It will be subtracted from mandatory deductions, which are federal income tax and state income tax. Now the gross pay minus mandatory deductions, as we see earlier, will be equal to disposable income. So here 55,000 minus 11,000 will be equal to 44,000. Then comes the ordered amount. So here we at the end we see the ordered amount and the allowable disposable income. So in the first two cases, that allowable disposable income is zero because the child he or she don't have to support the child. From March onwards, we can see that the ordered amount is 20,000 and from April to December it is 30,000. So in that condition, ordered amount will be considered as child support withholding amount. And from April to December, we see that the ordered amount is higher. That is, it is 30,000 and allowable disposable income is $26,400. So the deduction in child support withholding will be 26,400, and the balance amount, that is 3,600, will be in arrears and will be paid separately. Now we will go to the navigator. In navigator, I will select rules and we will now write a rule on child support withholding. So for that, I am going to select the cube in which I will be writing the rule. So I will be writing the rule on OEP WFP cube. Here I will name it as test underscore child support withholding. We will be writing the rule in edit script mode. So here we have used fix function. In fix, we have fixed the scenario, version and OEP underscore no entity. So here the version is mentioned, version and scenario both are mentioned in curly bracket, which are runtime prompt variables. We can view that in the system view in variable designer. So here in variable navigator we can see that the variable runtime prompt variable is created in EPBCS application. So here we see the default member for scenario is OEP underscore plan for version. Our default member is OEP underscore working. And for entity dimension, we have selected OEP underscore no entity. After that, we have used nested fix function. In the second line, we can see that our job and employee dimensions are also variable. We can select the member as per the requirement here. We can even see the default members here. So for that, I will go to OEP underscore WFP Here we see that in case of job, accountant is the default member, and for employee, E0006 member is default value. So here we can see in case of limit that at the rate children OWP underscore existing employees is considered. So existing employees consist of here with the employee name E0001 Stark Rob, E0002 Yap Carla, and so on. So here we have limit the value as OWP existing employee, and we have selected here the default value as E0006. After that, for period, we have used @IDescendant functions and fixed year total. Then for project dimension, we have selected no project, and for property, we have selected no property. For currency, we have taken USD dollar as fixed value. Then in the third line, we are calculating federal income tax, which is equal to gross pay multiplied with the variable federal tax percent. So I will show you the variable that I have created here. Here I have created a variable that is V underscore federal tax underscore percent, and I have limited from 10 to 30%, out of which I have selected 10% here for as a default value. Similarly, I have created a runtime prompt variable for state tax percent as well, and here the default value is 10%. Similarly, I have calculated state income tax, which is equal to gross pay into state tax percent variable. Then comes the disposable income, which is equal to gross pay minus mandatory deductions, as we saw earlier in the slide. After that, I have created a member block here, and use the if condition. So for if condition, we have used three conditions here. That is, the child support is double equal to 1, OWP employee type is double equal to 1, and OWP action is double times equal to 1. So now we will see what these smart list shows us. So for child support, we have selected 1 as the ID number, which is equals to yes. It means that if the child support is equals to yes, and for employee type we have selected ID as 1, which is equal to regular, and for action here I have selected status. So the member OWP action here is connected with a smart list named status. Let me take you to the instance. There I will show you. I will first search the name action here. So we see that OWP action, and we will go to edit. Here we can see that the member is connected with a smart list OWP status, whose members are active, departed, disability, and so on. So in this rule, we can say that one need to satisfy these all the three conditions, then only the allowable disposable income will be calculated. So one need to satisfy the conditions, that its child support is equals to yes, employee type should be regular, and action should be active. Then only the allowable disposable income will be calculated, which is equal to disposable income into CCPA percent. Then we have used a nested fixed function. In the ninth line, we can see that if the allowable disposable income is higher than the order value, then the child support withhold is equals to ordered amount, or else the child support withhold is equals to allowable disposable income, as we saw in the requirement sheet earlier. So after understanding the requirement of this rule, we will now save and validate the rule. Then I will deploy the rule first. Okay, now before launching the rule, I will take you to a data form which I have created. So here I have created two data form. First one is child support withhold assumption form, in which we can see that if the child support is yes, then CCPA will be calculated, then the CCPA will be considered for calculation. And employee type here is regular, action here is active. Now for the month of January and February, I have selected no for child support. Now after that we will see how it affects the calculation. Then I have created employee detail child compensation analysis form, in which we are going to run the rule which we have created right now. So for that, first of all, I will connect this rule with the help of action menu to this form. So I will here click on action menu, and then I will click on this plus sign where I will mention the name of the action menu here. I will be naming it as child support withhold. After that, I will click on OK. After creating the action menu, I will click on edit. From action, I will add a child here. So here I will use I will mention the menu item as quick underscore access. Then I will label it as quick access. Here I am selecting it as a menu header. I will save it. Then I will be creating a child of access quick. Here I will name it as child support withhold rule. Then for type I will select here business rule. I will select the cube in which I have created a rule, that is here is it is OEP underscore WFP. Then I will select the rule here. Test underscore child underscore support withholding. After that, I will save the changes that I have made. After creating an action menu, I will go to the data. Here in edit employee detail child, I will be going to the other option. In other option, I will be selecting the action menu that I have created. After selecting the menu, I will save the changes that I have made to the form. Then from here, by right clicking, here we can see that we are getting the name of the rule, that is child support withholding rule. I will launch the rule here. So here we got the required data. So here the employee basic pay and merit is totaled as 55,000. And here we find that basically that the child support withhold is not calculated for the month of January and February. As in the assumption sheet we have selected here the for child support we have selected no for January and February month. So we can see that it is not being calculated as allowable disposable income is not mentioned of. So this is how we calculate the employee child withholding. For any more queries, please feel free to ask. Thank you.